What is good, people? Welcome to another episode of RNS. We are back. The season is officially over. The Champions League is done. KWEKU, did we witness the greatest Champions League final of all time?
No, we witnessed the greatest performance.
Yeah.
In terms of finals, it's hard to look past Istanbul. Like, if we're being honest, in terms of finals, because of how good the AC Milan team was. Like, the names of the AC Milan team are ridiculous. Yeah. How early they scored those 3 goals, and then how early Liverpool scored their 3 goals in the second half, and then the penalties, the extra time, Jersey Dudek. It had.
Yeah, I think Istanbul, if you go back and look at it, everything, but I feel like a lot of the game, AC Milan were 3-0 up by the 20-something minute?
20th.
From the 20th minute to when, who scored the first goal? Alonso or Gerrard?
Gerrard.
Did Gerrard score the first or Alonso? No, Alonso scored the second? Maybe.
Alonso scored the penalty. Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, until the first one, you weren't watching that game.
Yeah.
I remember when, because it was done. We all thought it was done.
Yeah.
It wasn't until they scored the first one you think, and then the second one, and then it's 3-0 up, and then you're watching it. I remember, AC Milan being 3-0 up, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm done. I've got school tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean? But then, the reason why I say that one is because, bro, no one cares about the place Istanbul. As soon as you say the words Istanbul, you don't think of Turkey. You don't think of Turkey, you think of Liverpool.
Yeah,
which is crazy. When you just say Istanbul, you think of Liverpool. So for me, again, they were our biggest ops in that era. Obviously, Luis Garcia ghost goal. But if I'm being fair, with how stacked the AC Milan team was,
Istanbul better than Nou Camp 99.
Yeah, quality of game for sure. I went back and watched that. The quality of the game was not great.
No, it wasn't.
The quality of the game was not great. The final 5 minutes is cinema.
Yeah. Well, that's what that matters.
The commentary is cinema.
Yeah.
But the whole because in the Istanbul, sorry, you had the extra time, the miss, the penalty shootout with Joe Dudek. They had
Joe Dudek coming off the line. That wouldn't happen today in today's football.
It's just it's such of the time. And then when you look at I remember when I watched the game back, you look at the starting 11s and you just look at the AC Milan team compared to Liverpool. That game should have been 7-0. The difference in the quality of teams is ridiculous. Smitsa.
He bagged.
Yeah.
He bagged. Smitsa bagged.
It's crazy.
Vladimir, bro.
Yeah, man. So, but in terms of performance, you got to give it to PSG, man. I think the biggest ever win in the Champions League final or European Cup final was 4-1. I can't remember who it was. Oh, Real Madrid Juventus.
Real Madrid Juve, yeah.
But we've never seen 5-0. We've never seen that before.
Italian teams getting smoked, yeah.
Yeah, but do you know what's so crazy? This was a treble, but Inter Milan
were on their way to a treble. By April, they were still on their way to... by the semi-final of the Coppa Italia.
Of the Coppa Italia, and then obviously they burnt out. But Inter Milan, I think 2 years ago, maybe a slightly better team, but they were playing against a City team that were very good. Haaland in his first season, City going for a treble, and they only lost that game because... Ederson was on fire for Man City, and obviously Rodri comes up with a winner. But City could have easily lost that final. So it's a well-coached team with decent enough players that gave a Barcelona team that are very good at a difficult time. But to get smoked like that, 5-0, it was crazy, bro. And I think it's the best team performance we've seen in the Champions League final. But I think we've seen more exciting finals for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like team performance-wise, it didn't feel like a final.
No,
it felt like a normal Champions League game in which there wasn't a home team and there wasn't a away team, but you felt like PSG were just playing this Inter Milan team off the park, and we all thought going into it would be a tactical battle, but it wasn't. That PSG midfield is just full of hoopers, bro. João Neves.
But then now, in hindsight, this year's a hindsight year for me because, with Liverpool, before the season, no one said they were going to win it. But in hindsight, it's of course they're going to win it. They've got the better team. PSG, in hindsight, it's okay, so what? So got one of the best left backs in the world, one of the best right backs in the world, 3 of the best midfielders in the world, and the best front 3, arguably, in the world. Of course they won it. But it's crazy.
Bro, hindsight's a great thing, Quakes, because if you tell me, if you showed me PSG's starting 11 in August, I could have been this team could probably win the Champions League.
Yeah.
Me and João Neves, I've been on that guy's case for how long? Desiree Doué, for anyone that plays Football Manager knows that Desiree Doué is a cold footballer, and lo and behold, he's a cold footballer, scored 2 and got an assist in the Champions League final. So yeah, I guess hindsight's a great thing, but it makes me annoyed because it makes me feel like football's so easy when you think of things like this. Yeah, Liverpool have 4. Well, now that Trent's gone, Liverpool have 3
world-class players.
Like, why would they not win?
Why would they not win the league?
Do you know what I mean? But I guess no one predicted City falling off, Arsenal falling off, whatever. So, like, I do agree with you. But I don't know.
I don't
know because football's just not that simple. Even though sometimes it is.
I would have loved to see Barcelona versus PSG in the final, see how that game would have gone.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, Barca are a worse team than PSG in terms of being a complete team, but they've got X factors, and that's what you need in Champions League football. People take moments, like in 90 minutes. Yamal's going to give you something. If Lewandowski's fit, he might give you something. Rafinha's going to give you something. And that could just change a game. So I do think that we were robbed in terms of the football purity of it, of a Barca PSG final.
Yeah, because especially with the performance Inter stunk up, regardless of good this Inter team is or whether you rate them or not, losing 5-0 in the final is just unacceptable.
It's embarrassing, man.
It's embarrassing. You don't lose 5-0 in general. Losing 5-0 in a final, like, you shouldn't have turned up.
Nah, you shouldn't have turned up.
You shouldn't have turned up. There's actually just no point.
It's weird though, because now you look at PSG and it looks like they're set up to dominate. And shout out to Nick Wright, one of my favourite people who talks about it in the NBA. He talked about how every time a team has won in the last 4 or 5 years in the NBA, everyone always talks about dynasties. like, when Giannis won, it's like, how many's to win now? It's going to be a dynasty at the Bucks. When Jokic won, it's like, how many's going to win? It's going to be ring collecting. When Boston won last year, it's like, it's the start of the dynasty. And that's what the chat is now with PSG, right? It's like, they're definitely going to win the next 2 or 3 Champions League.
I don't think so.
Football doesn't work like that.
Football doesn't work.
Sport don't work like that no more.
No.
It's like, I think we're not in an era where, because it's so situational, things just change. Like, I can see PSG maybe not crashing out, but going out in the quarters next year, just because something was not aligned in the team. Like, everything worked perfectly, right? Nuno Mendes hit form at the right time. Hakimi hit form at the right time. Their front players hit form at the right time. It all came up perfectly. Whereas I feel like next year, we might see Barcelona maybe work things out, or Man City come. I don't know. I just feel like they've got to enjoy it right now. But when people start talking about dynasty and you hear from all the commentators, they're going to dominate for years to come. I don't think it happens in football.
I think we were blessed because we both watched football in the NBA, and we were both blessed with the parallels of two superstars in football, and maybe let's just make Hayley LeBron or Messi in this situation. But we were blessed in a generation of where we knew what we were getting. We knew we were getting Ronaldo in the Champions League final. We knew we were getting the Cavs and Golden State. Yeah. So that's why we spoke about dynasties. That's why we spoke about Real Madrid's 3 and 4 in 4 years.
That's why I talk about Barcelona.
That's why I talk about Barcelona.
Yeah.
And that doesn't usually happen, but I think because it happened in both football and basketball kind of now at the same time, we've now gone back to normality in which no one dominates.
Yeah.
And teams can go up and down every time. I mean, we're not used to this because we were so used to aliens just controlling the finals and narrative, and we were happy with it. Because, like, prime example, the NBA has not had the same team in the finals for how long now?
Well, think we win it.
Say people just in the finals. Deep it. Like, there's never been the same 2 teams in the finals. And for 4 years straight, we had the Cavs winning the East and the Golden State winning the West, and we saw it in the finals for 4 years straight. 4 finals straight, we saw it.
Last year was Dallas versus Boston.
When was Dallas last time in the finals? 2011.
Yeah. The year
Boston last time they were in the finals was 2009.
Year before that,
Phoenix. No, Golden State.
No, Denver.
Denver, yeah.
Denver versus who's Denver beat in the finals? Oh,
Miami.
Miami.
What year?
No, Phoenix. It was Phoenix.
No, because Phoenix. No, Denver won.
Denver beat who in the finals? Who came out of the East?
What year?
2023.
2023.
The Celtics. Or the Heat.
Oh my God.
No, the Heat was Golden State.
No. Golden State beat Celtics. Golden State beat Celtics because Jason Tatum shat the bed. Golden State beat Celtics in the final.
Yeah. Golden State beat Celtics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Heat. It was Denver Heat. Yeah, it was the Heat. Yeah, I was right.
I'm bugging.
Yeah, it was the Heat.
It was Heat.
Yeah. So Denver Heat.
1 finals appearances.
Who?
The Nuggets.
Yeah, just the first time in the finals and they won.
So yeah, no, you're right. That's such a good point, by the way. Yeah, and Zach clip that one because that's you're spitting.
Clip that. No, but do you know what?
You're spitting because like we had Messi and Ronaldo, right? And I'm not saying that. Well, maybe we had Messi and Ronaldo. Obviously, we all knew that Messi was better, but we just like to play along the narrative. Who's better? Who's better?
And Ronaldo got his own, and made it a debate.
And Steph got his right. We know that LeBron's better than Steph all time, but Steph Seth got the same amount as LeBron. So if people want to make that argument, they can. Yeah. And like you said, we were being served up the same dish every year,
and we were
loved
eating
it,
and we loved it.
And it was familiarity, and we're still holding on to it to this day. It's like, oh, maybe the Lakers can make a run because they're used to LeBron, or maybe Golden State.
I think we like. Do we like dynasties?
Bro,
because life was okay for me. Life was okay when Man United were winning the league.
Bro, people complain about dynasties. Dynasties is when the sport is at its most popular. The Premier League was at its most popular when Man United were dominating.
So what about City?
Golf was at the
City won it for.
Yeah, but
see, like something.
There's something about
we like a dynasty that's organic.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
We like organic dynasties.
Exactly. That's why the Bulls was great, right? Because it was an organic dynasty. They drafted Michael Jordan. They drafted Scottie Pippen. And that's why people had an issue with Kevin Durant going to Golden State. Because it's like, that didn't feel organic. Yeah. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. No, you're spitting. Yeah.
Man United's won the class in 92. Even though I think it was organic. City's one wasn't organic because it was oil money. Okay, you bring Foden up, but name me one other City academy guy that's won it.
Again, all of us will hate it. But if Arsenal went on a dynastic run, it would be good for the Premier League, right? Say Arsenal become like the best team in the league and they're winning title after title, Champions League. The league would be in a better place. Well, it would be in a better place.
Well, let's put this example. Who's got a good youth system right now? I want to say Chelsea. No, OKC. If OKC become a dynasty, in which they probably are going to, because Sam Presti has way too many.
But that's what I mean. They might not, though.
No, they will.
Bro, we said that about Boston.
No, but Boston had an organic. Well, it wasn't really organic. They took it from us. But Boston,
they drafted.
Well, yeah. No, but as a Brooklyn Nets fan, I'm like, it's not really organic.
I hear it.
But what Sam Presti's done the same thing, but he has picks for life, so that's why this is going to work rather than the Celtics one. But
I've got something to say on that.
We'll save that later. Yeah. But I think it's going back to like the Champions League and stuff like that. I think if you create a dynasty, it's better if it looks organic. It's more relatable. It's more, all right, you're not a good team because you just bought the best players. You're a good team because you created this team. And that's kind of like why we like PSG, because don't get twisted. Who was that? Mayulu? He was a PSG. You could see like that was just the icing on the cake where PSG can crop the best French young talent, because Desiree Doué's there, Mayulu's there, Warren Zaire-Emery, do you remember him?
Yeah.
He's there as well. And so, like, that's why people kind of want this PSG dynasty to work. Whether it's going to work, probably not, because we've got another dynasty in Spain called La Masia, and they're coming.
They're coming. But the only dynasty in football that we don't care if it's organic or not is Real Madrid.
Because the Galacticos. Because the whole point of Galacticos is
like we buy the best.
We buy the best. We don't have the best. Like, what's Real Madrid's youth thing? What's it called?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I know like Masia. I know Cobham. I know like Carrington.
I know Melwood.
I even know Melwood, blood. I don't know what Real Madrid. What Castilla, blood. Man said Real Madrid Castilla, right? I know one.
And we don't care.
I know one nigga from Real Madrid Castilla.
We don't care. That's the one dynasty that, like, when they were three-peated, we said, because they got...
Who's a homegrown Real Madrid player? Nacho and them, man.
Yeah, them, man, but we don't care.
I guarantee you they probably even bought Nacho, bro. Yeah. They probably bought it.
Like, even the ones that you think, they're Real Madrid. Sergio Ramos, he's not
Real Madrid. I remember him in Valencia, bro, with long hair and a right back. That's the Sergio Ramos I remember.
Yeah, man. They don't buy Carvajal as well.
Yeah. They bought him from Villarreal. Yeah, because I remember we wanted Carvajal.
Man that you think, they're Real Madrid.
They're not Real Madrid, bro. Yeah, what is Real? Yeah, that's so true.
But we don't care, though.
But we don't care about that because that's Real Madrid's brand.
Bro, Trent will be there for 10 years and he'll have us thinking that we're Spanish. Oh, yeah, he's from the academy. Like we'll think that Jude is Real Madrid.
That's Real Madrid. Yeah, he will be, bro. He's on bloody Solihull, bro.
Which is interesting. But yeah, I think for PSG, it feels like the start of something really special. And also for Luis Enrique, obviously a story about his daughter dying or passing away a few years back. With obviously he took a little break from football. Great story, great tifo as well in the stand. And he's a sick manager, bro. He's won 2 trebles with 2 different teams.
That's crazy.
And the first one he don't get credit for because it was MSN, right? And I get it. He don't. But this one, this is his. This is his chip. Yeah. This is his chip. Which is I think the only other manager to win trebles with 2 different sides is Pep. So he's sitting on that table right now. Pep won a treble with Barcelona
City.
and City. Yeah, I know. But the City one, we don't care, bro. We don't care.
I was like, what has Pep won recently? Treble? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, well, man. So that's the season wrapped up now. The Champions League is done. PSG are the champions.
I got something.
You got something. Talk to me.
Well, you might have been going into it anyway.
Go on.
Discourse, narrative, nasty.
It's
getting dark.
It's getting dark.
That's
For
what
who?
the shades on. It's getting dark.
For who?
Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, low key.
Bro, let me get his numbers up, right? Because I don't want people to forget who Kylian Mbappe is. This is a bad season for Kylian Mbappe right now, right? People say he underperformed at Real Madrid. Let's get his numbers up for this season real quickly. So this season, Real Madrid is first year at the football club where things ain't really built for him. 43 goals in all competitions in 56 games. 31 goals in 34 league games. 7 goals in 14 Champions League games. So he's done his job, right? In terms of putting the ball back in the net.
Yeah.
But let's deal with the facts at hand. PSG, the holy grail for them. They were sacrificing people to win this Champions League. They hadn't been able to get over the line.
And where's Javier Pastore, blood?
Bro.
I haven't seen Pastore in a
Bro,
minute.
Thiago Motta's failing as a Juve boss. Yeah, I mean, they've been chasing this for the longest. Managers have come, managers have gone. Players have come, players have gone. Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, Ibrahimovic, Cavani. Bro, we've seen. Where's Verratti? Where's Verratti?
Is he still part of the squad? He surely is. He hasn't moved.
I don't know.
But he hasn't moved.
Has he not?
He's not in Saudi.
Where's Verratti? Is he not?
He's got a Champions League medal, surely.
Where's Verratti? No, he's in Saudi, bro. Al Arabi in 2023. But quiet, right?
2023.
Yeah, I know.
Verratti moved 2 years ago.
No, not in Saudi, sorry, it's in Qatar.
But he moved 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's probably got a decent payment. Obviously, PSG owners are Qatari. It makes sense he goes to Qatar.
Makes sense.
There you go. So yeah, we've seen players come and go. And Mbappe was a jewel in the crown, right? During the same transfer window as Neymar, signed for a ridiculous fee, boy wonder, won a World Cup, scored a hat-trick in the World Cup final. Like, he's that guy. He leaves PSG, and the moment he leaves, the season he leaves, they win the Champions League. He joins Real Madrid, who won the Champions League last year. The season he joins, they go out in, I think, the earliest stage have gone out in a long, long time. He is not the issue. I'm not here to say that Kylian Mbappe is the problem. But he is going to have to deal, until he wins his first ever Champions League, he's going to have to deal with the narrative that's going to start being put out there about him being detrimental to teams winning football matches when it comes to European football. To that you say what?
To that I say, unfortunately, like, it's not true, but that's the narrative. Like, people think, especially, I don't want to make it a colour thing, but it might. I don't think it's a colour thing, because I think he'll get this if he was white regardless. But I feel like there's just a bit more onto this, because he's like, maybe that's just me. But I will say this though, is that it's a nasty narrative, because any team in the world would want Kylian Mbappe. I don't think Kylian Mbappe is a detriment to your team whatsoever. But if Real Madrid, because I feel like Real Madrid, this is the thing with the Real Madrid, he scored 43 goals in all competitions, but unfortunately, and people did say this, like, even though he's going to be playing up front for Real Madrid, he's playing with Vinny and Rodrigo, and those are all left wingers. And you could tell, like, the only Real Madrid games I watched in the Champions League, as much as having a front three of Rodrigo, Vinny, and Mbappe sounds good on paper, these are all players that, even if they start as a front three, they all want to position themselves on the left, which I totally understand, because that's their natural position, and you do that because of football. If things are not going your way, you start to try to take the game into your own hands, and you do it in the best way you know how. So we saw in the Euros that even though he started playing up front, it looked better when Marcus Thuram was playing up front with him, because at least he had someone, and then he'd go on the left and Thuram could give him the hee that he's been doing. Yeah. So this is a guy that wants to play on the left. Now, if Xabi Alonso comes in, who is, I think, is a tactically astute manager, and I think he did say that, well, it's been said according to Master that he will play 4-3-3, he won't play his three at the back that he normally plays at Leverkusen. But
big club.
Well, no, but that's because their squad suits 4-3-3, and it makes sense.
And also, that's come from the top. It's you might do that at Leverkusen,
yeah, you might do
but
that
at a big club we don't play for. And I respect it. I have that deep entrenched belief, because don't get twisted, I've seen Chelsea win multiple trophies, play free at back. But if you're a big club, if you know what I mean.
I know, brother.
What I mean.
I said the exact same thing before Ruben Amorim became a manager.
So start watching comps and explaining why you've got wing backs work. But if we're being honest, you just play 4-3-3 and let's see what happens. Play 3-4-3. Let's play 4-3-3. You play 4-3-3. I'll play 4-3-3.
And we just see what happens. Because that's what we used to do back in the day.
Let's not do some outnumbered shit.
Yeah,
you play
bro.
my formation,
I'll play my formation. We just see what happens. Yeah, that's what football used to be.
That's what football used to be.
But it's not anymore.
A gentleman agreement. You know what I mean? We'll shake hands and say...
We'll just shake hands, play 4-3-3, see what happens.
See what happens, Ray.
No, yeah. Football's changed in that sense, but... Regardless with like Xabi Alonso and everything, I feel like Mbappe could still... And because he's 26. So it's not scary yet, but once you hit 26, like it will start to get downhill. You get very close to 30. I'm saying this from like experience, innit? And the older you get and life goes like that, like he could be 28, no Champions League. Everyone's like, whoa. I
remember Mbappe when he was 18. Yeah, I mean, that's
brother. Mbappe played with Falcao when that chip against Monaco.
Mad.
Again, that chip against City for Monaco, Mbappe was on the pitch. Mbappe scored that game at the Etihad. He scored.
He was cold.
He was 17. So Mbappe's been here for a minute.
Yeah.
So I think he will win a Champions League eventually, and I don't think it's going to be one of them things that he's never won a Champions League. Yeah. And I still think what he does for France and what he does for Real Madrid should not go unnoticed. But I think that's just the one thing, especially now because PSG have won it. I think that's the one thing on his career that people can cling on to and be like, oh, he hasn't done that.
Well, I think the impact of a superstar, and again, it's a bit disingenuous because when Haaland joined Man City, of course he made him better because he scored all those goals. He didn't score in the semi-final or the final of the Champions League. But the season he joined, City, who'd been dying to win the Champions League for the longest, they won it, right? Haaland came, they brought in the guy, and they won the Champions League. I just think it looks bad.
No, it does.
If you leave a team, and the moment you leave a team, the trophy they want to win the most, you're a kid from Paris. The moment you leave, they win the Champions League. Yeah, tough.
No, it is tough. It is tough.
That's tough. Like, he would have had a tough couple of days. Because that would sting. Because you see the PSG fans as well, right? Coming onto the pitch, their ultras are sick. Like, you're from the...
Bro, France is still in flames as we speak.
Bro, right you see the Eiffel Tower lit up. You're from that city. You're playing for that team. You decide to stay there for longer than you should have. But then the moment you leave, they win the Champions League. That's the first one in France since '93, bro. Bro, since Marseille, yeah. Mad. So yeah, he's we'll see. He'll be fine, right? It's Kylian Mbappe. He'll be fine. I just think he's gonna have to hold that, and he's gonna have to win the Champions League, Real Madrid, which he inevitably will do because it's Real Madrid.
But then it won't feel as organic. That's the problem. That's the problem with us fans. We just want these superhumans to be as relatable as us.
Do you know what?
As relatable to us.
We just want Messi and Ronaldo back. That's what we want.
No, well,
that's if we're being honest, that's what we want. We want superhumans who every year seems like winning the Champions League.
So this is the thing, and this is what football and basketball are low-key going through right now, is that because we had these superhumans for the past 20 years, and we just knew what we were getting from these superhumans, and the narrative was if these superhumans didn't win, you won in the year that something happened to these superhumans.
Yeah.
So now that there's no one that's superhuman, and there's world-class players in both sports, and there's really good players and there's superstars, but because there's these no two superhumans that are just dominating the narrative and everything that happens within the sport, we're now like, who do we cling on to?
Yeah.
We're now like, okay, do we put these world-class players on the same pedestal as these superhumans? Because this is who are the best right now.
Yeah.
The best team, like the Indiana Pacers might be the best team in the East.
Yeah.
But because your two best players are Tyrese Haliburton and Pascal Siakam, you're just like, this isn't LeBron. This isn't like, Melo or something like that. I'm not saying Melo's superhuman, but okay, let me just say LeBron. Yeah. This isn't LeBron. Yeah, I don't know why I say Melo, but you know what I mean? Like, there's no one we can cling to.
100%, because like the Pacers could still go through to the finals, and win the Eastern Conference, and Haliburton can have a game where he drops 8 points. Do you know what I mean? There is never a playoff game where LeBron's not getting you at least 20, even if he has a terrible shooting night. And that's the thing that we kind of miss. It's like bankers, like they're going to score, they're going to do something, and like right now we're living in a world where, bro, like Shea could average 22 points and OKC could still win. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I want to see you drag. I want to see you drag him. I want to see, like, bro, Champions League final. You knew Ronaldo's good for a goal. I don't care if it comes from the spot or wherever. He's getting you a goal.
He's getting you a goal, and even if he stinks up the whole game, it's the fourth goal. He will rip off his shirt, and it's his Champions League. Yeah, we just don't have it anymore, and we were blessed with it.
But what do you reckon that is? Do you reckon that's because of like managers? I think now if it was, bro, after that game.
No, I just think that we were very fortunate. No, we were just fortunate to live in the same era as these man, bro.
Yeah.
We were just fortunate to live in the same era as these man because I
agree.
Because like what they were doing at the same time, like what are the odds like Steph and LeBron were delivered by the same? Well, it was a man actually. Yeah. But what's it? Yeah, but delivered by the same man in the same hospital. What are the odds that Messi and Ronaldo were playing in La Liga at the same time?
At the same time.
And they were just going JJ for each other.
One was Adidas, one was Nike, one was
one
was like it was just.
And now we need that again, but we don't know what to cling on to. We don't have anyone.
Because bro, like the LeBron and the Steph, like LeBron's tall, whatever. Steph's like light skinned shooter. Like it was just, you know what I mean? Like if there were light skinned shooter, different to LeBron. LeBron's not a shooter.
LeBron not a shooter. LeBron not light skinned.
Like, and then and I think tennis fans can attest to this as well. Like you had it when it was, but obviously you had Djokovic come into it as well, and people say Murray, but whatever. But like, you had
Djokovic and Nadal
and Federer. They had different styles, right? Federer was elegance and class, and Nadal was that. And we were blessed to live in that era where arguably the three greatest men's tennis players of all time all played in the same era.
I made Murray's Wimbledon hit that.
That's why I made it. That's why it hit. That's why
Murray.
Yeah.
And so that's what makes the sport great, because when other niggas won within this era of thingy, like when people, so like who won a chip with Toronto?
Yeah, that's what Toronto.
So when Toronto and Kawhi won it, you're like, rah, he did that in the era of Steph, in the era of LeBron.
The Jose 2010. Like it's like you got it in the era of like Messi and Ronaldo. That's why 2012 for me, bro. I'm like, you beat that team in like you said before in the pod, something crazy has to happen.
Yeah.
Like KD had to tear his Achilles off the bone for like Kawhi to get a chip. Do you know what I mean? Like
Drake lying and stuff like that, saying come on.
Like something, and you're right, bro. And that's why, good point, Zach, that Murray's Wimbledon made him a Sir.
Yeah.
They knighted him, bro.
They gave him that Sir Andy Murray, bro.
Here's the knighthood because you're doing it against Federer and Nadal and Djokovic, who are the greatest.
And right now we need, because bro, even tennis needs that. Like you have Alcaraz, you have Sinner,
but they're not as consistent.
And don't get it twisted, it's not their fault. We were just
blessed.
We were blessed in an era of sport with superhumans, bro.
Even Tom Brady, bro. Superhuman.
Dynasties. And the NFL were nice. And the NFL's still cushy because you're living in Patrick Mahomes' era. So what we need to do in sports now, whose era of football are we living in?
That's why we're so quick to elevate Lamine. That's why we are so eager. That's why we are like, we want to give him the Ballon d'Or this year, because we see something super special. And if he can be that guy, everyone claims they want parity. You don't want parity. You want greatness.
You want greatness. And you just want to live within the means of parity. Like, you just want to be there. That's what you want. You just want to live in the greatness, bro. Like, and that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with wanting greatness, bro. Like, people who got to watch the Bulls in the 90s, bro, of course they're going to say that guy was a GOAT. It's like, he three-peated, he went away and he three-peated
again.
That's greatness. And I want to see LeBron in the finals every
year, bro, because I knew what I was getting. Because it's not like
win or lose, it's still drama. It's
win or lose, LeBron was still giving me a triple double. So like, that's like, do you know what I mean? That's why we live. That's why we lived that and we enjoyed it. And it's a shame, man.
It's a shame. So when you say that's in the mud, right? I actually disagree with you, but I do. At the top of it, at the very top of football, nah, we haven't got that.
We don't have that. The top's got the middle's got better and the top's got worse. So it's like for the niggas that were just like out here Barclays Manning and stuff like that, I'm seeing them put on pedestals they shouldn't be, and I'm just like,
because when you like look at some of those El Clasico lineups of Real Madrid and Barcelona, it's fake. Like some of those teams are just fake. And they're playing each other at least like 4 times a season. And Messi and Ronaldo are scoring braces and at least all like, it was just all fake, bro. And I don't think the PSG are fake. I think they're a very good team, but they could get tripped up by another good team because they haven't got a superhero.
Bro, in 25 years' time, I don't think a team's going to win 5-0 in the Champions League final. And then when we go in let's say in 20 years' time, I don't think another team's going to win 5-0 in a Champions League final. It's very unlikely.
Yeah. No.
And then when we go look back at a team, and we go look back at the 2025 Champions League final in 2050, and you go look at that lineup, you're going to look at that lineup and you're going to think, there were some world-class players back then. I remember him, Kvaratskhelia, like he's one out of 3 Georgian people, But it's not going to be like. Do you know that video of Real Madrid, AC Milan in 2010?
Yeah.
Where it's got like Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, this, all them man. Even though half of them were cooked, but it's still them man.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to have that with this 2025 PSG team, but this is the best team performance I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I feel like right now sports is, because there's no superhumans in sports that can just carry a team on their back. It's now team related, and we have to. It's now the best team. So the 2025 PSG team can go down.
Is Desiree Doué not a superhuman?
He's a sick 19-year-old, but I don't think he's a super.
He's not going to be a superhuman. Nah. The only one's Lamine Yamal. We're looking at it and we're just like, all right, cool.
Because Doué's not better than Yamal.
No, he's not.
He's not. There's levels. And Doué's sick.
Doué's sick.
But there's levels to this, and your miles on so that's why. And you're right. That's why we're so ready to crown this guy as his era, because we need that. We need someone to. There needs to be someone at the top so that others can look up.
Can aspire. Yeah, because I don't think. I don't think Ronaldo, he's a psychopath, so maybe. I don't think Ronaldo becomes as good as he becomes if Messi didn't exist.
Definitely not.
Like, he just there.
He could have peaked. He could have peaked that 09 and.
Yeah, that's it. That could have been the peak. But he decided to go to Messi's league and saw the numbers that this guy's putting up and said, I have to be better. I have to be better. It's interesting. So we'll see where football goes, and I'm happy for PSG. I think for the first time in a long time, everyone was rooting for them. Everyone was rooting for PSG, and they've not really been the most likeable team. But with Enrique's story and how good they've been, and the fact, bro, they just took our English teams all the long way. They beat Man City in the group stages. They beat Liverpool. They beat Villa. They beat Arsenal, and in the final, they just took off Inter Milan's head. And we call the English league the best league in the world. We call the league the
Farmers League. And he said it as well, man.
The farmers came and they gathered their crops and took it back.
Gathered their crops and took it back to the banlieues of Paris, bro.
Who has the banlieue, bro? Football's done. Should we talk about NBA? We touched on that.
Yeah, we can talk about. Yeah, we can talk about. Because yesterday the transfer window did open. The first transfer window before the Club World Cup, and then the actual normal transfer window, because this is how crazy football is. Mateus Cunha is officially a Man United player. There's no pictures yet, but United have tweeted about it, so subject to a visa. You right?
Sorry.
Am I disturbing you?
Nah. I was getting up my Cunha video because when the Cunha news dropped, I had a video locked and loaded just to put out there.
So do you want to put it?
Yeah, we can insert some of the video into this clip, Zach.
There you go. So tell me.
Now we watch the clip.
Now we watch the clip. No, but you were right about Cunha. I think, because I did watch your clip, and I do agree that, you know what, there's certain parallels in football, and I think Man United, it's people giving it the Cantona thing and the personality thing, and I think Cunha's got that. I feel like the way he snatched that nigga's glasses, it reminded me of Aqib Talib, where he snatched Michael Crabtree's train. Like, you need, and I think Amorim wants that. You need players that are going to fight for you, players that are going to do the dirty work. And obviously, I'm not saying Cunha's here to be the dog of the team, because he's technically a good player. But this is a guy that's done it in the Premier League for at least 2 years now. He's shown what we can do in a Basel team. So if we decide to replace Bruno Fernandes and with someone who's going to be in Bruno's position and can dribble, that's a good start for me. And also, he's a good player, bro. He's 25, good age. He's got that little great age. Got a little maverick type about him. I'm with it. First signing. I still need more though, because we need to block this whole squad. But
bro, great signing for a team that finished as low as you did to get Cunha. It's a great signing, and people.
That's true. No team
want to see Man United flop, right? Yeah. So people are not thinking about it objectively. And maybe I'm clinging on to what Manchester United used to be because it ruined my childhood. But let's not pretend as if not everyone was waxing lyrical about him. And if Liverpool had made the signing, they'd say great signing. Everyone would say, Liverpool made an amazing signing. We'd burn the tapes of him snatching the niggas' glasses. Do you know what I mean? But because Manchester United is Bro, Man United, you have to have a bit about you. You have to have a bit about you. You have to almost be obtuse, or like, you have to be able to block out the noise. And from Best to Cantona to Beckham to Rooney to Keane to whoever.
What are you about to say?
Bro, like, stay in France.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have a bit of edge about. Man United fans don't care if the edge takes you over the edge, right?
Yeah.
How many times have you seen Rooney go over the edge? How many times have you seen Keane go? Bro, Keane took out Haaland's dad, took off the captain's armband, and no one chastised him, said, yeah, charge it. Yeah, he charged it to the fact that, yeah, retribution, that's payback. Like, Eric Cantona come through the nigga.
Kung Fu kicked a random brother from Croydon, blood.
And when he retired, Fergie was still writing them letters saying, please come back. Like, that's Man United heritage, is like, yo, you got to have big personality and not care what anybody says. Because like I said in the video, bro,
You got to be a bit tapped.
Bro, you got to be a bit tapped.
And really good at football.
Because if they're a tapped club, like if Man United are first or their 10th or their 15th, they're still the front page, or still the front or back pages. We're still leading them on TalkSport. They're still being led with on Sky Sports. They are that team. Unfortunately, people don't want to hear it, but
It's the truth.
it's the truth. They're that team. So if you're going to go to Manchester United, and apparently he's claimed that he wants a certain number shirt and he's got a bit about him, bro, I think that's a perfect signing, man. I think that personality-driven players are perfect for United. I feel like you just have to have a bit about you, bro. Højlund don't have a bit about him. He don't have a bit about him, unfortunately. And if you have a little bit of mental fragility, or you let the outside noise get, or you're not confident in your own ability fully, I feel like you go to Man United and you flop. Bruno has been the best signing because he's tapped, bro. He's tapped. Like, he will play a Hollywood ball and hear the whole Old Trafford groan. He won't care. He'll play that ball again. You got to have something
like nothing's ever faced him. Like nothing ever happened, bro.
And those are the main like greats, bro. Like even when I think of players like Van Nistelrooy, they all share a kind of like mentality where it's like, we do what we do, and the rest is the rest.
Yeah,
you got to have that Man United. Nothing Cunha will be sick. Like, obviously you got to get more. But I think Amram is the right type of Man United manager. I think that Cunha is the right type of signing. But another player that we mentioned just now is Bruno. Apparently the interest in Saudi is ramping up. But I'm seeing Man United fans who are big Bruno defenders saying, no, you can't. He's our best player. If the price is north of 100 mil, Tony, what are you doing with Bruno Fernandes?
I was shipping him there myself, bro. Even if it's 80 mil, I'll ship him there myself. Because on the balance sheet, and I hate that PSR and football is now making niggas talk about balance sheets and profit and sustainability, but here we are. But what we sell Bruno will be pure profit, right? So 80 million of Bruno will be, it's not like we will be able to spend 80 million on a player. We're able to spend more than that because Bruno will be seen as pure profit.
Why?
Because he signed a new contract during the summer and it's done based on like years, so it'll be on the old balance sheet. But put it this way, I'm sorry, he's gonna be 31. You can sell him for 100 million. Like, I wanted Bruno gone anyway, and no, but this was like, I wanted Bruno gone for years. This isn't something new, but towards the end of the last season, I was like, right, he's cooking, blah blah blah. But then that performance in the final just reminded me and said, Tony, like, come on, and that brought me back to reality. But now the fact that he could go potentially for 100 mil, like, not only could that potentially not save the club, but not only can this be a sliding doors moment for an actual rebuild, because normally when you rebuild, you do get rid of your best player and you actually tear it up and rebuild, hence the term. If we could do that for over 100 million, I'm now really optimistic about the season, not because of who we will replace, just the fact that we're actually trying to rebuild. Because even before Amarim was coming in and we were talking with Erik ten Hag, we kept saying, and you and I have said this so many times, Man United can't go back to the top with Bruno and Rashford being their best players. Yeah. But we never thought in a million years that Bruno and Rashford could potentially go in the same transfer window. No. And it could happen. It needs to happen, and it looks like it's actually going to happen. And we're actually trying to get, I think Rashford might go on a loan with obligation to buy or whatever, but Bruno could go for more than 100 mil. Like,
Tony, answer your question. Is there one team in world football that sold a player for over 100 mil and regretted it? Nah, no one's ever regretted it. Do you know what I mean? No one's ever regretted selling. Like, I love Hazard. Do I regret that? No. Coutinho, no. Like, nobody's ever regretted selling the player for 100 mil. And a player who's 30, come on, what? I don't know what world some of these fans live in, bro. In the world of PSR, a player that's over 30 for over 100 mil, I'm sorry, you will never regret it.
Yeah.
You won't regret it. You won't be like, oh no, we shouldn't have sold. Yeah, like you say, if you're rebuilding, rebuild properly. You can't rebuild with Bruno Fernandes, who is so integral to like the way that you play football. That's not the right way to play. If you're rebuilding, rebuild without your best player, because like you mentioned, Coutinho was Liverpool's best player. Eden Hazard was Chelsea's best player. Like, if you're going to rebuild and tear the whole thing down, do it properly. Don't do a half-hearted thing. And I feel like you will be better off for it. Like Spurs gutted when they had to sell Gareth Bale, right? And then a lot was made about the players they brought in. But Spurs, subsequent to Gareth Bale being sold, or after Gareth Bale was sold, they became a better team, qualified from the top 4 every year. Obviously, Gareth Bale gave you more highs, right? You had the Inter Milan, whatever. But consistently, after Gareth Bale left,
they lost that game.
Well, yeah, they lost that game. They lost that game, but they won the tie though. Was that in the group stage?
It was group stage. Yeah, it was group stage.
Was that in group stage?
Group stage.
Yeah, it was group stages. But after Gareth Bale left, they became a better team for it. Like, sometimes, yeah, it's sad to lose your best player. It's sad to lose the player that everyone gets on the back of their shirt. But sometimes you just need to go again, man. The only time I think a team would have been like we would rather not, in terms of selling a player for big money, is Ronaldo to Real Madrid. But that's because, like, even though it's 80 mil and the most money in the world, you kind of knew that you were doing it was cheap. That was cheap.
Yeah, when we sold Ronaldo for 80 mil,
because
80 mil wasn't cheap.
It wasn't cheap, but in hindsight,
it was a world record transfer.
It was world record transfer, but you just had the.
But it's just because it was just because he was 22, and you're like, oh, he could do this for 80 mil didn't seem cheap.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not like 80 mil seemed cheap. 80 mil just seemed like it just wasn't worth it. Yeah. Like 80 mil was crazy money back then.
It was insane money.
And then I remember thinking in 09-10, I was like, okay, cool, listen, Ronaldo's going, there's nothing we can do. This is how we reinvest the thingy. We get Schneider, we get what was his face? Oh, what's that nigga we were always linked with? Nicholas Gaitan.
Yeah. Stuff
like that. But we got Overton, Owen in Valencia. But but
Overton,
yeah, bro. And my Overton stocks went down immediately. But that's not the point. The point is that you're right in a sense that when you sell these players more time, you can reinvest and you can do it properly. If you've got good enough, this is the thing. We just need to make sure United reinvest this properly. But Cunha's not a bad start. Cunha's a Premier League. I know what I'm getting with Cunha.
Good start.
I know what I'm getting. Right. So if we decide to carry on this, like, I don't want to talk too tough, but I've got a nasty narrative cooking. If we look good, if we do have a good transfer window, I've got a nasty narrative.
What's
cooking.
Nasty? No, that's sneak preview.
Sneak preview is
Whisper it.
Listen, just 38 finals. That's what I'm saying.
Huh?
38 finals next season, innit? One week of United. If we get a good rebuild and 1 week United, 38 finals. I'll see you lot in May, innit? That's all I'm saying. 38 finals.
I love Tony being the fan.
Yeah.
I love Tony being the fan.
Yeah, bro.
I love Tony being the fan because that's nice, you know.
38 finals. Nah, because bro, we could easily we could if we're not careful, we could play 40 games like next season. And 38 of those are going to be in the Premier League. Like, and you're Man United, you're playing once a week. If we cook up a nice little squad to play once a week in the Premier League, just give me 38 games, man. Like, let me see in it. Let me see what you lot do with them 38 games. I'm not going to say we're going to do anything because I don't know what we'll do, Quake. Because I don't know. Because we could sell.
Finals indicates though, Zach. Finals indicates trophy. Is that if I say 38 finals, you say title charge. You say title charge.
Second half of the season, we're doing a title charge.
This is why I absolutely love football, right? Because between the period of like maybe need a week or so, but when the Premier League ends, between now and when the season starts, everybody's optimistic.
Everyone's optimistic, bro.
As you should be. That's the point of
everyone thinks they can do a nasty title charge.
Yeah, bro.
We finished 15th and I'm screaming title charge.
Tony, like, in my soul, I believe Chelsea win the league.
No, but that's what's been a football fan. But then also, I think right now, this is the most open the league has been. But if we're not careful...
Liverpool are just doing crazy things, man. The Liverpool transfer window's bothering me.
Do you know who's bothering? You know whose transfer window's bothering me? They haven't signed anyone yet, but the players they're being linked with, City.
No, because it's bothering you because you want those players.
Nouri, Reinders, Shirky.
Yeah,
more time.
You want.
Yeah, but more time. No, I didn't want Nouri at United. He's a good player, but I didn't want him at United.
You wouldn't want Nouri at United?
Well, no, of course I would.
He would be perfect.
Yeah, I know he would be perfect, but we got Dorgu, so
See, that's the thing. It's so tough, right? Because you couldn't have got 8 Nuri in January, but like 8 Nuri's what? Like he would be perfect for Amorim.
Yeah, 100.
Like, and I don't know if Dorgu, I think you could probably end up improving in that position. You know.
Yeah,
Like,
but
he should be your backup.
Yeah, we'll see. We bought another nigga from Paraguay. We'll see in it.
Yeah, so what? Shirky's bothering you?
Shirky's bothering me. Reinders is really bothering me.
But Reinders is just a City one. You got to charge it to them being successful over the last.
Shirky's them being successful. Shirky's available for 20 mil. And
Shirky's a weird one.
And he's choosing City, bro.
Shirky's a shit.
Like, City could cook up a nasty team next season, bro, and easily win the league again.
I'm just not too sure about City, though.
It's so open at the moment. But if City is signing all these good young players, like they could easily just cook up something nasty next season.
You reckon?
Yeah, I feel like because we've seen City, like this is the worst we've seen City, and now that we're just kind of used to it because it's happened for like a long time. The longest it's been for a minute, so we're kind of used to it. But if City just revert back to like Rodri's back, they put Reiners there, you put Shirky and Foden together with Haaland, and then you got Vardiol, this, that, the other. They could win a lot of games.
Should we do like a way too early top 4 prediction for next season? Just a way too early one.
Yeah, since the transfer window just started.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
What, win title?
No. Go.
Okay, so do your top 4.
This is my top 4, no particular order.
No, order.
Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah, order.
Man, United have got to be somewhere. and I can't do that, bro. We've only just got Cunha,
It's
bro.
our way too early, heart overhead, top 4 prediction. Number 1. Who's number 1?
I can't pick United to win the league, bro.
Like, it's fine. It's like it's your heart. It's like
because
but okay, put some realism in there as well.
I can't tell you who's going to win the league. I think, okay, even if I think Liverpool going to win the league, I don't want to be put on camera and say that.
Okay.
So let's just put Liverpool there. City will make top 4. I think Arsenal still make top 4. I still think they can beat a lot of Premier League teams. Right now, Chelsea. If we sign another person and we get rid of Bruno, the power rankings will change. It'll be like the Mahomes Mountain, innit? It will change. We'll do it weekly, but yeah, right now I'm saying them, man, because I can't.
Okay.
I can't, like, don't get twisted. As I said, if United have the window that I want, or a good enough window, I'll cook up a nasty narrative because that's me being a fan.
Verts, Frimpong and KWEKU'S is crazy.
It's crazy. I don't know how Frimpong works though.
Yeah, no, I don't know how that one works because he's a right wing. He's a winger. He ain't a right back.
Maybe they play him up front or on the front three when Salah goes AFCON.
Yeah, maybe. But it's crazy, and also Ekatike is on his way
to
like this. They're making
to Liverpool.
They're just. Bro, they've got bare P.
They got bare P. They've had that. They've been sitting on that Caicedo money.
Yeah, man.
For a minute.
They're going to sell loads of players as well. So my way too early. Liverpool top, Chelsea second, City third, Arsenal fourth. Yeah, like, and I think Arsenal win a trophy next season, but I think in the league, I don't think Arsenal win a trophy next season. I think Arsenal win a trophy. I think Arsenal win a cheeky little League Cup next season. Yeah, we've been saying that for a minute. They still won't do that. I think Arteta doesn't take those competitions seriously. I think Arsenal don't win a trophy next season because I think they regress next season in the league. I think they regress in the league. I think they regress in the league. I still think they'll sign players, but I think they regress in the league. I still think they'll be like in and amongst it because they're a good enough team and they're still better than a lot of teams. But I think they regress in the league. Yeah, I think I really think that. I think they finish fourth. Yeah, yeah, maybe. I think they're starting. People might figure them out. I think again, this is way too early. This is heart over head, bro. We're back. Chelsea are back. We're back. You being a fan, isn't it? Me being a fan. Yeah, me being a fan, right? But like, I just look at it, and I look at like the way we won at the beginning of the season. And I look at the way that we won at the end of the season. Now I look at like some of just the shithousery from some of the players. I said, yeah. I look at Cucurella. Yeah, I was like, yeah. People hate you. Yeah. I look at, you like him now, don't you, bro? Because it's like he's every time we play, he is the most hated player by the. But we went to Euros. Every single game that Spain were playing, he was getting booed by the opposition. Like, he is so hateable, but bro, he's also so clutch. Cucurella scores important goals. Like, he scores so many important goals for us this season, and what he does going forward. yeah, it leaves a little bit to be desired in terms of I'd like somebody maybe a little bit more technical. Defensively, bro, I've seen him lock up the best wingers in the league. I've seen him lock up the best right wingers in the league. I've seen him lock up Mo Salah. I've seen him lock up Bukayo Saka. I've seen him lock those people up. And so I look at it and I'm like, all right, cool. So you're good defensively. You're a shit house and you score goals. I can't ask for much more than that in a world where we have
proper Chelsea.
Proper Chelsea. You know what I mean? Aspilicueta was proper Chelsea. Now look at Cole Palmer and like, bro.
Why'd you say proper Chelsea like that, right? Because you got to say it. Proper Chelsea.
I look at Cole Palmer, who had like nasty discourse around him. Does he turn up in big games? I said, you guys forget that he scored in the final of the Euros. But anyway, and then obviously gives you those 2 assists in the final that we shouldn't really care about. I just think next season, yeah, we're going for it. We're going for it. And I really hope we get Liverpool in the Champions League under the lights at the bridge, red versus blue. Like we're back. And
Chelsea versus Liverpool, man. That's why Nollywood films were made because of them ties, bro.
Come on, man.
Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
If you don't watch the NBA basketball, you're just thinking who? But it's not a bad matchup. I'm saying, okay, it's not great for the neutral. But then again, I think this goes back to our earlier topic, is in that we were just used to greatness and we were just used to, like, who wouldn't rather watch a Golden State Cavs final right now, you know? Yeah. But I think the East is wide open. This is the issue. I think OKC are going to be the team in and amongst the West for years to come because of the amount of the team that they have now, the amount of picks that they have in the future. They can trade those picks for a superstar if they really want to, or they can just keep adding really good young players.
I think the West is too strong for me to defensively say that.
I think they've already been the best team in the West regular seasons for the past 2 years. It's now in the playoffs where they've looked good and they've just breezed through teams, and they're just going to keep getting older and better in the playoffs. Like I don't see how the Oklahoma City Thunder. The only thing,
they don't like paying luxury tax.
Well, so this is the thing, yeah.
What I'll say is that they had a more talented group than this before. And like this is predicated on them winning, right? Because them winning means players want to stay. The reason why a more talented team that had Durant, Westbrook, Harden, Ibaka, the reason why they didn't stay together is because they didn't win, right? And KD was like, I have to leave. Mm-hmm. They better win these finals.
Yeah, but
if they don't win these finals, bro, they're in. Like,
SGA's not going to leave. Who's going to leave? Oh, Jalen Williams. Oh, I want to go
get more back. Go and get more money. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's just yeah. So
if you're not winning, you're going to go get more money.
But this is the thing. The only one that can leave and try to get more money is Jalen Williams, because he now made All NBA and he made a defensive team as well. So he's now eligible for more money. Mm. So if he wants to go get that somewhere else, OKC can find another number 2. They can easily trade for a number 2. They can easily find a number 2 within the draft. Like, they've got so many first round. They've got like 2 or 3 first round picks.
Presti's had a team better than this before.
He's had a team. It's not the team, bro. The team's already good enough to make the finals. It's what they have for the future and what they can choose, because they can randomly choose to just blow up someone else's future and get another really good player, or they can just keep building. Like, the world's their oyster and they've already got the best young team. This is the youngest team to make the finals.
Yeah, cool. But then, like, I remember there was a world where Boston just kept on accumulating picks, Brassy, accumulating picks.
Yeah, but they weren't accumulating picks. They weren't accumulating picks like that.
About to get kicked out of there.
No, I've got 5 minutes.
Yeah, I remember Boston accumulating picks. And then they eventually the picks dwindle because you have to improve a team here.
Yeah, but Boston didn't accumulate picks the way that OKC did. Boston accumulated picks. Yeah, they had a lot of picks, and they took most of them from us and then used our picks, and then they built a team that's won them a chip, their first chip in how many years. And if Jason Tatum wasn't injured, I'm not saying they'll make the finals, but
they would have lost.
No, they would have lost, but they were the favourites for coming out of the East during the start of the playoffs, right? We had.
I'm just hating Tony.
I know you're hating, and I get that you're hating. No, I get that you're hating, because as we said, like, the NBA it's like football right now. We need someone to take the mantle. I think OKC is going to take the mantle in the West. It's just, what are we going to do about the teams in the East? And what's even annoying is that, like, cool, Halliburton gave us the Reggie Miller moment. He gave us that we started to jump on this Halliburton train, but then he didn't even win
That's what I mean. Like
Eastern Conference Finals MVP. So it's just like, is this your team?
Bro,
like,
this era's not full of serious niggas, right? Because it's like, it's just not. It's like, oh, Jason Tatum's the best player in the Celtics, but he didn't even win the Finals MVP. Like, do you know what I mean, bro? LeBron James is never like, even if he's not the best player,
he's still the best player. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like, it even brings that into question.
Teams are better than individuals right now.
Yeah, they are, and that's like Pacers are a really good team. Since like maybe February, Pacers have been like one of the best teams in the NBA under the radar. But it's because like their best player in Halliburton can be really influential, and this team can win, and he can drop 10 points. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like, we're losing recipes.
Yeah, we don't have, as I said, we don't have aliens to take the mantle and just be like, this is my game, this is it. Teams, and people like it, some people don't. I heard Adrian Durham saying this is the first time Luis Enrique's made us fall in love with PSG. The first time, because we all hated PSG. We all hated the way they organically tried to buy a Champions League, but eventually they've done it, and maybe they've done it by building a team. But this is the way sports is going right now. You have to build a team. It's not full of mad individuals. There's no individuals to just give us, take the mantle and say like, you know what, I'm him, I'm gonna do this. There's some individuals within teams, but they're just down for the team.
Who wins the NBA Finals?
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
In how many games?
5 or 6 tops.
I got OKC in 7.
Do you think this is going to 7?
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to 7.
Goes to 7, Indiana.
Yeah, I think if this goes to 7, I'll be very surprised. And
Indiana are the first team that OKC have played. They've got like as many good athletes as them.
Yeah.
Like in terms of just like up and down, like we will be with you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think OKC got better players, obviously, and a deeper bench. But I think in terms of like just
Indiana's role players as well. Indiana's role players are really good. That bench, we got like Nemhard.
But Halliburton's going to have to. I understand he's a pass first point guard. You're going to have to start dropping some points, my nigga.
Yeah, no, and I think that he will, but I still don't think OKC. I still don't think this goes to 7. I really feel like this will be done in like 5 or 6.
If it goes to 7, I got Indiana.
I think if it goes to 7, I think Indiana will figure out something.
How do you think it goes, Zach?
Yeah, OKC in 5.
Yeah.
I don't even think. Yeah.
Dead.
Dead. It's exciting.
Nah, it's not even exciting, bro. Like, I thought, I'm flying out to the Club World Cup. So I thought, like if the Knicks make it,
you wanted to beat Knicks.
I would have gone. I would have gone to a Knicks game, bro. And now, like, I ain't going to Oklahoma, and I'm definitely not going to Indiana. I'm fucking
go see Freddie Gibbs and then man Blatt and Michael Jackson in KFC.
Man. Wrap it.
Yeah, let's wrap up, man. Thank you for watching another episode of RNS. Like and subscribe. All of that.